All right, the birthday bash continues. It is a Freaky Friday edition of Liquid Lunch, and it's a Freaky Frankie edition because Frank Morano's in studio. We haven't been in studio together in a while, but it's my birthday, so he made
going right to bed right after this
special trip down here to Mac's Pub in Staten Island. And as the cavalcade of monster celebrities and icons filters through the show today, we're joined by none other than world-renowned criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Lichtman.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
And Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. And John, happy birthday. And I mean, you look very good for 60, I have to tell you.
Yeah, really. I'm hanging in there, kid.
You got your own original teeth. I think that's a positive.
That's questionable, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But I want to wish you a happy birthday. And also, I want to congratulate you because I never expected that you become the activist that you become. And it's impressive. And you're doing a lot of good work against some very evil people. So I'm glad you're taking the hits. Usually I'm taking the hits on cases. And to see you stepping up the way you have for the people of Staten Island and even all of New York, we all appreciate it, for real. No joke.
Nah, Jeff, thanks. I know you're a ball buster, but that was meaningful, and I appreciate it. And truthfully, you know, I recounted this on the show the other day. You know, my daughters are getting older. They're 21 and almost 19. And my one daughter was saying, "Daddy, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" Right?
You said for attention. No,
and I you know, she knows that, you know, sometimes I got to do publicity stuff, and you know, me and you are masters of a prank. But I said because it's right, because they can't shut down our businesses because the governor's running the state like a mob boss. It's just not right. And my daughter literally looks at me like and says, "Daddy, I know, and I'm proud of you, but nothing's going to change." You know what I mean? No. Like, that's what these kids are growing up just thinking, that you just got to submit to the government. And I almost cried and said, you know what you don't really realize is why I'm doing it is for you and your sister and your brother, because if we let them steamroll us, we're dead.
You're 100% right. And as you fully know, you'd rather die on your feet than live on your knees. And that's what Cuomo has really done to the entire state. And it's almost hard to believe that I'm rooting for him to become Attorney General. I understand he's on the short list for Biden. I'd actually root for him to become Attorney General just to get him the hell out of New York so the rest of us can live a little bit, right? Let
Jeff,
the whole country.
I realize even you know, at your hourly rate, prorated, I think we already owe you like $700 or $800 at this point. So we'll keep this brief. But I'm wondering if you can explain to the people watching, one of the first employers that Andrew Cuomo ever had was a fellow named Michael Bluetrick. Now, it's very interesting to me that in all the Cuomo biographies, no one ever talks about Cuomo's employment relationship with Michael Bluetrick. Remind folks, who was Michael Bluetrick? What kind of guy was he?
I think Bluetrick was actually ultimately became his law partner and then became a cooperator for the federal government in mafia cases. And I believe he either has a history in child molestation or child pornography. Somehow that neglected to make any of the 17 autobiographies that Cuomo has written just since the pandemic started. I guess, always. But, you know, John, you mentioned that he's running the state like a mob boss. I've known a dozen mob bosses of the 5 New York families, and I can tell you, none of them is as much of a disgusting weasel as Andrew Cuomo is. He is simply the worst person ever in politics that I've ever encountered. Makes his father look like a prince. And it's amazing to me that New Yorkers, if given the chance, would vote him in, 80-20 today, and just shows how stupid New Yorkers are in general to allow such a craven, disgusting, obnoxious, selfish bully as him into office. Now, what is it, 3 terms?
Yeah, 3 terms and counting.
Crazy.
Jeff, thank you. We'll look forward to having you in soon. Appreciate you making the time to call in.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words, brother. They're rare from you.
Thank you.
All right. Somebody who's unlikely to call anyone a disgusting creep or a thug. Barry Goldsmith, who is my former professor, a gifted comedy professor, comedy writer, and architecture professor, also an expert in the field of travel. I caught his lecture the other day on the Romanovs and the Jews, and it was really, really eye-opening. It was funny, but it was incredibly educational. I learned a great deal about everything from Rasputin to Alexander Peter the Great. So it's good to see you, Barry. How have you been?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And before we start, I just have to wish the man of the hour, the man of the year, the man of the show, John Tobacco, a happy birthday. And in keeping with Romanovs and the Jews, I noticed that you're wearing a Hebrew prayer shawl just for me today.
That's right. It's Tallis. Very nice.
Yeah, it's a New York Rangers Tallis.
Mazel tov.
And you know what, JT and
Signify
Frankie?
the end of Hanukkah, Shabbat.
Exactly. Your birthday, the timing is terrific. You can now use leftover Hanukkah candles as birthday candles and save money.
Perfect. That's good. That's about.
You know what,
That's a
JT
ringer.
and Frankie? I agree with you about restaurants, and I have a birthday wish for you for next year. May you pick any restaurant in New York City to have your birthday, and may all your friends help you blow out the candles next year without wearing masks.
That would be beautiful.
It's just
Now,
so
wouldn't
hard
it?
blowing out candles with masks. I've tried it. Forget about it. Anyway, speaking of restaurants, I have some things for you today. Let's dish, as they would say in restaurants. Take a look at this. I heard that this restaurant, take a look at this. I heard that this restaurant is going to close in my neighborhood. It's the 2nd Avenue Deli on 1st Avenue. And I heard if they reopen, they're going to be the 1st Avenue Deli on 2nd Avenue. There's hope in the world for that.
Right.
And you know what? Landmark restaurants. The 21 Club is closing. Can you believe that? And I hope they do it, at least before Christmas, because you've all been to the 21, right?
Barry, listen, we're going to do a little extended coverage just on Facebook. Stick right there so we can get out on BizTV, and we're going to come back in 1 minute. All you guys on BizTV, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Frankie for making this happen. And Monday, tune in to Newsmax TV from 12 to 2. And I will be there joined by Maggie Vanderberg, Fog City Midge, filling in for John Bachman. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everyone for dialing in, calling in, zooming in.
And people should watch on Facebook because we have some other surprises just for the Facebook.
We're gonna still be live on Facebook at Johnny Tobacco. Check it out. Other than that, we'll see you Monday, same bad time, same bad channel. More Liquid Lunch with Fernando Uribe, hopefully.